I kept hearing tapping on my window every night at exactly 2:47 a.m. I live on the 10th floor, so I thought it was just in my head. I mean, how could anyone get up here? There's no fire escapes, the windows don't open, and most of all, why would someone stand outside my window in the middle of the night and then leave? But I had been hearing this for months. At first, it was just one tap, then two, then three, and then silence. Then the tapping would start again in another part of my apartment. Sometimes it sounded like fingernails, sometimes like someone tapping with a small hammer. Other times it was like slow, deliberate knocks. The sound never changed, no matter where I went or what I did in my apartment. The tapping followed me, and each night it happened a few minutes earlier than the night before. Like clockwork, it wasn't something that could be ignored. It pulled at me, demanding attention, growing louder, more insistent. And if that wasn't enough, just as the tapping started, my phone alarm would go off. I haven't set an alarm in years. I don't need one. I wake up every morning at 8 a.m. when my daughter goes to school, and I work from home, so I haven't heard an alarm clock in over 10 years. But every night, like clockwork, my phone would blare its obnoxious ring at the same time the tapping began. The whole thing drove me crazy. I moved from room to room, hiding under blankets, trying to drown out the sounds with white noise, but nothing worked. I couldn't sleep during those months, not a single night. My eyes were permanently bloodshot. I hadn't shaved because who cared? What was I supposed to do? Move out of my apartment? Sell my house and move to Idaho? The tapping drove me to drink. Then, last night, the tapping changed. I was laying in bed with a bottle of scotch, watching the blue light of the TV flickering on my ceiling, listening to the tapping which tonight was coming from my bathroom. The sound was different. It was slow and deliberate, and then it stopped. I sat up in bed. Did I imagine it? Had it been one of those little plastic spiders my daughter put up to trick me? She's 9. She's too young to know how much Daddy's been drinking. But maybe she already knows. Maybe she did this to punish me. And then the knocking started again, louder now, insistent. I got out of bed, walked to the bathroom door, and knocked. I called out, "Who's there?" Silence. I opened the door and flipped on the light. Nothing. Of course, there was nothing. I leaned closer and saw a draft coming from under the door. I shut the door, took a step back, and noticed that the doorknob was loose. I pushed it open and stared at my bathroom. I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. There were 5 long, deep scratches on the bottom of my door, like someone had dragged something heavy across the threshold. That was impossible. I tried to remember the last time I used the bathroom and shook my head. I must have blacked out. Must have fallen. But I didn't fall. Not only was the door undamaged, the scratches looked fresh. I flicked on the light and walked toward my window. I peered through the glass and saw the face of a man. His face was pale, his smile wide and unhinged. He mouthed 2 words, Found you." Then he disappeared. I stumbled backward and bumped into the dresser. I fell onto the bathroom floor. When I finally got myself upright, my hand was shaking as I reached for my phone. I dialed 911 and waited for them to arrive. They searched the apartment and questioned me. They even brought in a canine, but they found nothing. No sign of forced entry, no signs of struggle. And when they looked out the window, there was nothing to see but a brick wall. The window was on the 10th floor. I told them about the scratching, but when they went to check the door, they found no damage. They checked the rest of the windows and found no other point of entry. My neighbors told them they hadn't heard anything, which wasn't true. Mrs. Higgins downstairs said she'd heard a commotion, but when she looked out her window, she saw nothing. They left. Now I'm sitting here waiting for them to come back. I keep looking out the window, expecting to see the man again. I think I'm going crazy. I can feel my mind cracking, my sanity leaking out like water from a busted pipe. What is happening to me? How is this possible? I thought it was just in my head, some stress-induced psychosis caused by my divorce and being a single father. I still have to take care of my daughter. I have to be strong. If I lose it, who will take care of her? I try to convince myself it was a dream, a nightmare. I wake up every morning after 2 a.m. and panic, thinking I imagined it all. But then I look down and see the scratches on my door. This happened again tonight. The tapping started around 2 a.m. I was awoken from my sleep by the sound of slow, deliberate knocks. I tried to ignore it. I tried to tell myself it was just in my head, but I couldn't. I had to get up and check. So I got up, walked to the window, and looked out into the darkness. The face was smiling at me, the pale, emaciated face of a dead man, a corpse. A corpse was grinning at me from the other side of my window. Its mouth was filled with sharp, pointed teeth. It was grinning from ear to ear. I slammed the window shut, pressed my back against it, and slid down to the floor, gasping for breath. How is this possible? How is it smiling at me? How is it alive? Why is it grinning at me? Then I heard movement outside my window. I peeked out between the curtains and watched as a figure clambered onto my fire escape. It looked like a skeleton, its bones scraping against the metal bars. I pressed my face against the glass and screamed, "What do you want?" The creature stopped and turned its head. It looked directly at me and continued to stare. It seemed to grow larger, filling the space between the window and the fire escape. It beckoned with a finger. I could swear its flesh was crawling with maggots. "What do you want?" I screamed. "Leave me alone." The tapping started up again, slow and deliberate. It smiled and tapped the glass with a finger. Then it was gone. The tapping continued. I hid in the closet, huddled in the corner, rocking back and forth, whispering, "Please, please, please, please." But the tapping kept going. I stayed there for hours, listening to the scratching, praying for it to stop. But it wouldn't. It never did. It went on and on and on. And then this morning, when the sun came up, it stopped. I didn't see the creature again. I spent the day hiding in my apartment. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. I haven't spoken to anyone. I keep looking out the window, expecting to see it. I keep listening for the tapping, but it hasn't come back. I wanted to tell someone. I wanted to call the police, but I knew they wouldn't believe me, so I waited for it to come back. And then this morning, it came back. I saw it standing on my fire escape. I thought it was there to kill me. It stared at me through the window, its skeletal face inches away from mine. Its finger was pressed against the glass. Then it mouthed 2 words, "Let me in." And it smiled. I slammed the window shut, but the tapping continued. I've been listening to it all day. I haven't moved. I haven't spoken. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. I just listened, and now I'm recording this message. I don't know what to do. I don't know how much longer I can hold out. I'm scared. Please help me. I don't want to die. I want to live. Please help me. I keep hearing the tapping, the slow, deliberate scratching. It's getting louder now, more insistent. It wants me to let it in. It wants to come inside. It won't stop tapping. I'm gonna go check it. I'll be right back. Wait, please, 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 help me.